So, are you ready can I ask you some questions about charts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that let's just assess the extent to which we have a grip on it. All right, these are different kinds of charts. So if I ask you, what's the main factor that determines the type of charts that an analyst chooses to use for visualizing a particular data or data set? What's the main determining factor?
It depends on the data type.
Okay,
You have to check for the data type, know if it's a categorical data or a numerical data.
yeah,
So that you'll be able to, your presentation and be easy to comprehend or understand. So
thank you. That's good. So
if
that's
it's a categorical data, which you are able to, if you're able to say if it's a categorical data, you have to use a bar chart or pair chart or
uh,
column chart, depending on the one that will be suitable for that particular question
oh,
or problem. So if it's a numerical data, you have to use histogram, line chart, scatter plot, depending on the one that will be suitable for the particular question as well or problem.
okay, yeah. I think that's a very good answer. Okay, but is there any other factor that that's what I wanted to hear actually. But is there any other consideration? For example, you just rightly said that if the data is categorical, we could use something like pie chart or column charts, bar charts. Um, what determines whether you choose pie charts or bar charts or column charts? Let's just say between pie chart and column chart. What would you think? What do you think is a major consideration in choosing between these two? My question clear? My question clear? For example, you see a question here. Let me reduce this.
I think we also have grouped and ungrouped data. So yes, sir.
Okay, you say what? So what? I didn't get that. What did you say?
I said, for instance,
Hmm.
I said it.
So we consider the data is grouped or ungrouped.
Yes.
Okay. Is that for categorical data or for numeric data?
It's for categorical.
For categorical. When we are dealing with categorical data, usually we don't do such groupings. Now actually categorical is like a way of grouping things together, right? But
Yes.
when you will use that term, grouped data, usually it refers to some numeric data, usually. For example, if I have something like this, suppose I have something like score, frequency, and I say 0 to 10, 10 to 10 to 20, 20 to 30. I suppose we've all seen something like this before.
Yes.
This is grouped numeric data. So when we just use the word grouped data, usually we are referring to something like this. And so on.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Rosemary, welcome. All right. So this is grouped data now. This is grouped data. This is group data. Now, if you want to plot this in a chart, what kind of charts do we usually use? What kind of chart is most suitable?
Bar.
Bar charts, bar charts, bar charts.
Histogram.
Histogram, yes. Histogram. Thank you for that. Histogram. So you will use histogram for this. This is grouped numeric data. Hope you know this is numeric data.
Yes, sir.
It's not categorical, it's numeric.
Mm.
Okay. But because it's grouped, that's why we use histogram, which somewhat looks like a bar chart, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but what's the difference between histogram and bar chart? Have you noticed any difference before?
Of course.
What's the difference? What's the main difference? Any idea? Anybody want to say something about that? If I show you a histogram and I show you a bar chart, what difference do you expect to see?
Like the histogram, I
Hmm.
think it depicts this frequency distribution.
Okay, frequency distribution. What about bar chart? Bar chart can also show frequency distribution.
Sure. But like the bar chart, there could be spaces in between,
Thank
but
you.
the histogram lacks.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. You see, can you see something? Can you see this image?
Yes, sir.
This is how histogram looks.
Histogram, yes.
Or if this were a bar chart, there will be different. There will be space
Yeah, in between.
in between. Thank you. Or column chart, there will be spaces in between. So this histogram now. Okay. So Are we ready for more questions? I want us to do a general review. So a bar chart, let's see the bar chart. I think we have, okay, you see bar charts now. This column chart actually. It has spaces in between. Why is that? Can somebody suggest? Why do you think it's like that? You know this data analytics class, it's not just Excel, okay? So we should understand why, we should know why certain things are the way they are. Why is it that the histogram doesn't have space between, but bar charts have space between? What's the meaning of that? Any idea? What does that signify? So, well, we already know that this column chart is for categorical data. Okay. What's the relationship between, look at this now, for example, soft rock and hard rock? Is there a relationship? Is there any meeting point? No, right? Is there a meeting point? Now, the reason why you see it, why it's that way is this. Histogram, we already know is it for numeric or we already know it's for what? Numeric, right?
Yes,
For
sir.
numeric data, yes. So now, it's not just for numeric. Histogram is suited for continuous data. Continuous data. Apart from being numeric, continuous data. That's why you see didn't you see what's the observation here? What do you observe in this my groupings here? Okay, let me ask you now. Assuming I put serial number here. Okay, let me ask you. If a number such as 15, if the number 15 occurs in this data set, where will it be? Serial number what? Row what? 15. Where will it be?
To be between 10 and 20.
That's row what? Row 2, right?
Yes.
Serial number 2. Okay. We will agree.
I thought you are
Is it
taking
not
it from the.
Is it not the score or the serial number you're talking about?
No, I'm talking of the score. You are right. You said let's say a number 15 occurs in the data set. You said it's between 10 and 20, right?
10 and 20,
Which
yes.
means it's on this row, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can just call that serial number 2. That's why I put the serial number for ease of identification. Okay, so I want to ask you another one now. So you tell me where it will be. If I have 34.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I
Yes.
want to understand the question. You said a number or call.
Yes. You know these are numbers.
If
Now.
15
How many numbers are here? How many numbers do you think are here?
frequency. I
All
can
of
calculate
them.
it from the frequency.
That's 40,
Yes.
right? That's the total. Huh?
Um,
Okay, so
yes, sir.
between 0 and 10, there are 2 items there. Between 10 and 20,
Yes.
there are 3 items. So if you have a number 15 on the list, definitely it's here now. Right?
Okay, I thought you were saying occur.
Yeah, that's
I
what
thought you were saying occur.
that's what I mean by that. What I'm saying is, if the number exists, this number is one of the numbers on this data set. What group will it be? To be on this second group, right? You understand my question?
Okay.
Okay. Now, what about 34? Where will it be?
Row 4. Serial number 4.
Serial number.
That's row 4.
Thank you. Are we all in agreement? If you don't agree, just say you don't agree. Just say what you
Yes, sir.
we all agree. Okay. What if I have the number 30.5? Where would it be?
Number 4.
We all agree it's number 4?
No.
Some of us
30.
don't agree. 30.5.
It's
No.
between serial number 3 and serial number 4.
Okay. Let's look at it critically. Where will it be?
Row 4.
What's your final answer? Row 4.
Yes, sir.
That's there, row 4. Okay. Are we all in agreement on that now? It will be on row 4. That's right. Why? Because you can see
30 is
30.5,
there.
it has to be somewhere between 30 and 40.
Between 30 and 40.
Yeah, it has to be somewhere in between. You have 30, maybe 30.1, 30.2, 30.3, 30.4, 30.5. Then you get to 41, 41 point something, 42. Do we understand now? There's a point I'm driving at. You know, I asked a question. I said, what was the question I asked? I said, why is it that the bars of histogram are joined together? Why are there no spaces? Then I answered the question to say that histogram,
Okay. Because of the continuous nature.
yes, is designed for continuous data. So I'm trying to explain what that continuous data is now. How to document the frequency distribution table for continuous data. That's what you are seeing now. Now, most of the time when you do this, a lot of students will try to oppose it. A lot of students would say, no, it's supposed to be. What do you think I want to say? Okay. They'll say it's supposed to be like this, right? I don't know if any of us think the same way. They'll say this is not correct. It's supposed to be like this.
Yes, sir.
Yes. A lot of students usually think it has to be like this. But when it's like this, then you cannot represent this type of number. This one will fall in the crack. This number, for example, doesn't belong anywhere here. Do you understand what I'm saying? This number, 30.5, you can't locate it in this frequency distribution table. Can we all see that? Why? Because this is representing discrete data.
Okay.
Representing discrete data, not continuous data.
Mm.
This one represents discrete data. It doesn't represent, this is not for continuous data. Okay, so when you want to do the frequency distribution table for discrete data, you can do it this way. For example, let's say this data represents a number of items that can be counted. For example, let's say the number of people that attended an event on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You get. Are we on the same page? Okay, so in that case, you can never have 30.5 persons. Can you have 30.5 persons?
No.
That's discrete data. Is either you are talking of 2 persons, 3 persons, 21 people, 22 people. You cannot have 30.5 people. That's an example of discrete data. Okay. Data that can be counted, that's usually counts. Continuous data is data that you measure. So it can have decimals. Are you following? When you are
Yes, sir.
writing the frequency distribution table for continuous data, you don't give space. You don't give space. Here now, there's space. For example, you can see between 10 and 11 here, there's space. Okay? 10 point, there's 10 point something is there. That's if you are trying to capture, you understand? There's space. So when you are dealing with continuous data, you close the space. I want to believe we are following. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Can I get your general response?
Yes, sir. We are following.
I hope every one of us is following. Do I assume
Yes, sir.
do I assume that silence means consent? Or that silence means question mark? Hmm. All right, so I'm still asking you questions. So I'd like you to talk back so that we know exactly where we are. So we know how to proceed. Okay. Now, I said this is discrete data. You have seen the difference between discrete and continuous data, right? The difference is clear, right? I would like to hear your response. That's what will assure me that you are hearing me.